Are you ready? The Kornelia Stephanie Show. Wake up to love, your call to action. Join Kornelia as she empowers others to live heaven on earth. Kornelia teaches listeners how to be the authority over yourself, embracing your inner guru. Feel yourself uplifted into limitless expansion, integrating ease and grace in a changing world. This show will cover topics such as unconditional love, your physical body, how to be in extraordinary relationships, create financial and emotional wealth, embracing entrepreneurship in the new earth. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, Living Heaven on Earth. I'm so excited about today's show because we're showing you every time when we're featuring these shows and the amazing people that come on the shows, we're showing you that we're living heaven on earth right here, right now, every single day. And even though there's a lot of chaos in the world, we're also able to have the experience of living heaven on earth once we've learned how to do that inner work. And so what is it like? What would it be like without living heaven on earth, without living your purpose, without discovering your calling? And so that's why I'm so excited about today's show, because my new co-host, Charleen Hess, is here today. And I'm so excited about her theme. She's going to be helping us discover our purpose, living our calling. And in this theme today, it's about learning how to connect to your true self. Welcome back to the show, Charleen.
Thank you so much, Kornelia. I am so flipping excited to be here. I'm so excited to be sharing my, essentially my life's work of what I'm in the process of creating, but what I've been living for the last 45 years. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm so excited because you're such an amazing woman, and we're gonna really tap into some of your juiciness and some of your amazingness. But I want to touch on one key point, and that was right at the before we began the show. We're sitting here talking, and you made a comment about where you are right now and about shining your light. And would you tell the audience right now about what that comment was?
Sure. As we were sitting in the green room.
Exactly.
Yes, as we're sitting in the green room and just sharing that, the nerves that I'm feeling and that feeling before you get ready to go on stage. And it is exactly like going on stage and getting ready to talk in front of a huge crowd of people. And it's because I'm in this place that I am stepping up and I'm shining my light brighter than I ever have, because I realize that this is my calling, is to share this. And now that I'm doing this and I'm stepping out, there's no turning back. I can never play small ever again.
And I said to you that I'm so, so glad to hear you say that, because by you being that, you're going to give other people permission to do the same. That's what it's about. And so I'm so happy to hear you say that, because one of the things is that you have many different titles. And when I first met you, the only title that you had at the time was a hairdresser.
Yes.
But since that time, you have become a movement coach. You have become an empowerment coach. You have embraced your calling of being a speaker for large, huge audiences, and you're fully stepping into your truth. And so can you tell us a little bit about, you have all these things that you're doing, and how does one do all this?
Yes, I as you say, Kornelia, I am a multidimensional human being. I'll use your words there. And it's very true. And I am a hairdresser. I am a personal trainer and a movement specialist, fitness coach. I am a life coach, and all wrapped up into being your empowerment coach. And so I started out from a very young age, as if you have listened to any of the shows in the past and learned about my past story, I come from a very large family. And for some reason, I knew at a very young age that I was going to be a hairdresser. And I was also knew that I was going to be on stage. I thought that I was going to be, singing and acting like the Partridge Family. I didn't know exactly that it would be doing motivational speaking until I was probably 18. But I just have always known that there's been this thing inside of me that I am here to shine. I'm here to present. I'm here to give. And so I started out as a hairdresser, and I love doing hair. And when I'm doing people's hair, for me, it's twofold. It's not just about me getting to have my creative expression. It's also that I have been given this gift to be able to work with people, to be able to help them to see the beauty that I see. When I look at people, I see all of their amazing, beautiful features, and I just get to play with their hair and help to emphasize and accent that. And so as a hairdresser, I'm really able to help people, empower them to be able to have their physical appearance show what it is that they're trying to communicate to the world about how they feel about themselves inside. And so I did that for many years. I've been doing hair for 27 years. And as I was working with clients and have them sitting in my chair, I love fitness, and I've been a fitness junkie for many years. I was a gym rat for a lot of years, and I started going on these really grand adventures, and I would share that with my clients, and they would go, "Wow, that's amazing. I would love to do that, but I could never actually do that because, because they have some bad knee, or they are not strong enough, or they're not, fit enough." And I just sat in my chair and I just thought, wow, that's not true. You can do this. If you want to do this, you can do it. And so I decided to become a personal trainer because I really want to help people be able to feel that strength and that connection in their body so that they can interact with their lives in a physical way and not be stuck with this idea that they can't because, that's just the story that they choose. And then I did that for a while, and I'm still doing that. And so I have some clients that I do their hair, and I work as their fitness coach. Sometimes I only do their hair, or I'm only their fitness coach. And then, as as I worked through my transformation process and worked with you as a life coach and started really transforming who I was and realizing that I'm letting go of this old story, I in the 2013, took your certification course, your wholeness certification course, and became a life coach. And so started life coaching because I realized that beyond your physical body, beyond your appearance and how you look, you have to work from the inside out. And so you can't just be one piece or work on one thing. To really, truly have a life of wholeness, you have to approach it from everything, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And so the life coaching piece came in sort of at the very middle part of that, of realizing that I wanted to help people to let go of their limiting beliefs so that they could have the life that they want, so they could have the life that they love. And so all of this has sort of come together in this last 3 months that I realized that this is what I've been doing all along, is empowering people. I am an empowerment coach. It just is right now that I'm realizing that it's all the same thing. I don't do all these different things. I do the same thing, and it's all here to empower people to live their best self and to realize that they can't do it in one segment, that we are a whole being and that we have to work on ourselves wholly to be able to have the life that we want, to step into our calling, to live on purpose.
It's so beautiful. And I want to say, I remember back in the day when you weren't a movement coach, when you weren't a fitness trainer. And one of my gifts is I help people step into their greatest self. And I remember telling you that it was time to do fitness videos and fitness training. And I remember you were like, "No, I'm just doing hair. I love doing hair, and I'm only going to do hair." And it took a little while before you started embracing that part, and then became certified as a movement coach and a fitness trainer and a personal trainer, and then started bringing that piece in.
Yes.
And so it's just brilliant to see how it all unfolded. And what I love more than anything is the model that you're being right now in the new world, because the new world, living heaven on earth, like I said earlier, or you said using my words, you are a multidimensional being. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is what this show is about living heaven on earth, embracing all of our gifts, being our multidimensional selves. And what a great thing to be able to, where in the old world we would stick with one job for 30
Mm-hmm.
years, for 40 years, for 50 years. And here we are in the new world. And what you're modeling is I'm doing all these different things that I absolutely love. And you continuously had to look at it. Do I want to take this with me? Do I want to take this with me? Do I want to do this? Is this in alignment with who I am? And you continuously had to investigate that. And now
Mm-hmm.
you've embraced all of it, and it's just
Right.
wonderful.
Right. As you're going through your expansion, as we look at ourselves and we look at our life and we realize that where we're at, we need more. And that was several times that I've come to that place in my life where I realize I'm not feeling satisfied with what I'm doing. I need more. And so every time I've actually had to look at, do I want to stop being a hairdresser in order to really focus on my fitness career, in order to really build a big business? Do I want to have a gym? And every time I came to it was absolutely not. Like, I love doing hair. I love that I get to go and help people create their physical beauty, their physical appearance, to be able to connect with themselves in that way. I don't ever want to stop doing that. And as I'm building my life coaching career, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, does something have to give? Do I have to let go of teaching classes? Do I have to let go of doing personal training in order to keep moving forward in building this life coaching career? And the thing I realized was, no, I don't want to stop doing that either. I don't want to stop doing hair, and I don't want to stop teaching classes, and I don't want to stop doing one-on-one fitness coaching for personal training. So it was like, okay, well, then how do I do all of it? And it was that realization of, I already am doing all of it. It's that I'm empowering people to do all of the things. And so as I'm creating my life coaching business and doing more coaching, it works out beautifully that I am able to create the life that I want, being able to do all the things that I want, and I don't have to choose. And I think that we all can do that. We can all have all the things. It's about learning how to have balance in your life. And that's definitely something that I also teach in my life coaching, is how to do all of it and have that balance and not feel overwhelmed.
Yes, and beautiful. And let me add one more thing to your title. You are now also a radio host.
Yes. Woo!
You're now also a radio host. Wonderful. And a wonderful segue to, we're going to go to break. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. But first, I want to tell the listeners how they can follow you on Facebook, because you put out such great content and you're putting out great videos and some juicy things where people can follow you and be inspired by all that yumminess that you send out. How can they find you on Facebook?
Just go on Facebook and just look up Charleen Hess. My name is spelled Charleen. The two E's are together, Hess. And it's the public profile page, Your Empowerment Coach.
Perfect. We're going to go to break and we'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, and I'm with my favorite co-host today, Charleen Hess, and we are talking about connecting to yourself in all ways. And this segment, we're going to talk about how does your outside match your inside? And Charleen has been my hairdresser for the last 10 years. That's actually how we met. And then she's also become my personal trainer. And so tell us a little bit about that, Charleen, connecting to your body, how important it is. Because I used to drive. I mean, I still do. You still do my hair, and I absolutely love you doing my hair. And that's the reason why I drive an hour each way to have an appointment with you, because you're so great at doing hair. And so the same thing with you being a personal trainer. When my goals were to really get more toned and become more physical, and I wanted to have personal sessions with you. And so tell us a little bit more about how to connect to your body and what that's all about.
Okay, yes. So as I was saying earlier, is when I decided to become a personal trainer and to help people to connect with their bodies, it was really about wanting to get to that place to where you can feel like you have strength, agility, movement in your body, and to not feel limitation. And we often hear that our body is our temple. And yes, that's absolutely true. The way that we eat and the way that we nourish our body and treat our body, because our body is housing our spirit. And it's really important to have that connection to your body. But more than just our temple, our body is also our vehicle. It's through our physical body that we interact with the world. That's how we have to walk to get places. We have to be able to, if we want to get in the water, we need to be able to have the strength to swim. If we want to, go for a walk or a hike or get into the mountains, our body is our vehicle of how we actually get there. And so many people are in physical pain because of immobility. It's this idea that people are not just in pain because of overuse, they're actually in pain because of lack of use. The body was designed to move. The body was designed to resist force and resistance. And so if we are super stagnant and we don't move our body, we don't interact and engage in our world in a physical way, that's how disease sets in. That's how we actually create a lot of injuries. How many times have you heard people say, I woke up injured, right? They were just sleeping. All they were doing is sleeping. But when they woke up, they had realized that they have this injury. And it's really important to be able to have that mobility in all of your joints and all of your movement. And when you are able to connect with your body, when you're able to have that place where am I pushing too hard or am I not pushing enough? You're able to listen to know exactly where that sweet spot is to be able to find that balance. And there have been many times in my life as an athlete where I have definitely pushed too hard. And I have led myself to injury from pushing too hard, doing too much.
And
because I had
it.
this because I had this idea of it was about performance, because I had to perform. And then there were times in my life when I didn't push hard enough. There were those times where I had this goal and I would work out really hard and I would reach my goal. And then as soon as I reached my goal, I would stop exercising completely. And then I would take about 3, 4, 5 months before I would revert back to where I was, having aches and pains. And then I would get back in. And so it's really about finding that balance of being able to connect to your physical body and move, which actually brings me to the thing that I want to give everybody today as a free gift.
Yes.
Is if you want to email me at livingwhole@charleenhess.com, I will send you a free video of a full joint mobility session. It's just a 9.5-minute video that is going to go through full range of motion through all of your joints, head to toe. It's from Scott Sonnen's work of the Into Flow program. And if you want to email me, I will keep giving you my email throughout this program today, but email me livingwhole@charleenhess.com and I will send you that video.
And Facebook, where do they find you on Facebook?
Same thing, Charleen Hess, your empowerment coach on Facebook, the public profile page.
Yeah. And yeah. I love how you're talking about the movement piece and the injury piece. And part of the work, being a wholeness coach, being an empowerment coach, has to do with assisting people to release their emotional suppression that they stored inside their physical bodies, which is the real cause of disease.
Absolutely.
And so that's the real piece. And then the movement piece really helps us to get it out, And part of the nurturing and taking care of our physical bodies, which our bodies, they do so much for us. They do so much for us. And it's such an important piece. So I'm so glad that you're bringing this to the world, in addition to bringing the hairdresser, in addition to bringing the empowerment coaching. I love that. And so tell us a little bit about what does it mean with matching your outside, matching your inside?
Yeah, so that's just a term that I use, does your outside match your inside? And so a lot of times that people can look at that and say, you want to look your best self. You want to look great. If you feel great on the inside, then you're going to look great on the outside. As a hairdresser, that's one of the things that I work on is I work with helping people to look and feel great. So many people go through life with an unawareness of that they're creating a nonverbal communication with the way that they present themselves to the world. And so does your outside match your inside? How do you feel about yourself is going to show with how you present yourself to the world. So for, one thing is obviously making sure that you look good. When you look in the mirror and you look at yourself, actually look in the mirror and see, how does your hair look? How does your skin look? How does your body look? And this is not about, are you thin or fit or pretty or handsome? It is, how do I feel about myself today? How do I want to present myself to the world? There are times when I throw on a hoodie and I've got my hair pulled back in a bun and I've got my coat zipped all the way up because I'm not in the mood to interact with the world. And so I'm sending a message that, hey, I'm just kind of here. I need to interact. I'm in my own space. And then there's other times where I dress and I put on a little bit of makeup and I do my hair and I want to create a message. And so it's about doing that, having your outside look like what you feel on the inside. The other part of that is that if you feel bad about who you are on the inside, if you are living a life where you are not shining your light, if you are living a life where you don't feel good about yourself, it does not matter how much makeup you put on. It doesn't matter how great you make your hair look. It doesn't matter how fit you get your body to look. Your light is not going to shine. And so the part about making yourself look on the outside from the inside is getting to that place where you do all of the work that you need to do on a mental and emotional and spiritual level so that your light will shine regardless. You can choose to go out in the day and interact with people, not have a stitch of makeup on, just be, freshly washed and going, and still shine amazingly. And so that is really ultimately the biggest piece of making it so that you are showing the world what it is that you want to show the world.
Which is so important, which is the reason why doing that inner work, learning how to really love yourself, how to nurture yourself, how to honor yourself, how to learn how to have a strong spiritual practice in your life, because it's really going to support you in tapping into that inner self that has never seen the light of day before, because we've always been so busy to try to stay ahead of putting a mask on, putting a face on, showing ourselves to the world in that way. And now being vulnerable is the new strength.
Absolutely.
It is the new way. And being vulnerable, being raw, being naked, being authentic, being real, and being fully at a place where you accept yourself exactly how you are, even if you're not the fittest, even if you don't have enough money, even if you're not the prettiest, like you said, it doesn't matter. But if you accept yourself at the core of your being, of who you are, and truly love that part of yourself, no matter what, that's where it begins.
Absolutely. 100%. I've received attention my whole life because I'm a redhead and people notice that about me. And I am also very photogenic, where you can take pictures of me and they turn out fairly well. I had several, photo sessions done in my hairdressing business where I would, do different photographs where then, of course, I would be photographed at the end. And I had this pictures taken of me that I've looked at over the years. And I physically on the outside look the same. I've got my red hair, my green eyes, my big smile. But it wasn't until the last several years that I've been having photographs taken that I literally look like a different person. I have had people say to me, wow, that's a really pretty picture of you, from looking at me in the past and then looking at pictures of me now going, you look 10 years younger. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe the light that's shining in your eyes. I can't believe how amazing that you look. And it's not, I'm older. I have wrinkles. My skin isn't nearly as great as it was, 15 years ago. But the pictures that I was able to take 15 years ago and the pictures that I take now, drastically different, because 15 years ago, I hadn't done the work to where I am today, where I have that mental, emotional, spiritual connection with myself. And I have that balance that now you can look at a picture of me and you can see that light no matter what.
I love that, Charleen. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Kornelia Stephanie, and I'm here with my co-host today, Charleen Hess, and we're talking about how to connect to yourself in all ways. And we're discovering our calling, and we're stepping into living our purpose, because that's what Charleen's message is all about. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is Charleen is a practitioner, a wholeness practitioner through my wholeness certification course. And she also became an empowerment coach certified through my wholeness practitioner course. And in that course, I teach about being emotionally, physically, spiritually embodied with yourself, and how to have the tools in order to be able to live that way. And so she is the perfect example of what it's like when you've embraced your full wholeness and stepped into your calling, as she is now. And so, Charleen, tell us a little bit about your journey with being a wholeness practitioner.
Okay, Cornelia. I have gone through this process of being physically connected to my body, as not just in my appearance as a hairdresser, but becoming a fitness professional. And like I had just been talking about having that physical connection, and does your outside match your inside? And no matter what you do on your physical body to look like on the outside, you're not going to be able to really shine your light unless you connect with yourself on the inside. And part of connecting to yourself on the inside is really about having that mental and emotional connection with yourself. And I realized, because I was one of the people, there are so many people that go through this world that really have no idea what they feel, how they think, why they are acting the way that they're acting, why they're choosing the words that they say, why they're responding and reacting in such different circumstances and situations. You know, that moment when you speak and you're like, oh my goodness, my mother just came out of my mouth, or my father, I just heard my father speaking through me. Like, wow, because there comes this, you know, the way that we're raised, and I know that you know this, but we're going to share with the listeners. However it is that you're raised is how you're programmed. This program has been installed into your, you know, your software. Your software is, you've got your base computer, and you have these life experiences that are the software. You can go through and you can delete the software, but there's always a trace. You can reinstall new software, but there's always a trace of what the original program was, the way that it came. And that's what we do in our life. As we go through and we act and we behave, we have that software running in the background that's actually controlling all of the things that we do. And so if we are not conscious, if we are not living on purpose with intention of knowing that I'm going to respond this way intentionally because this is the response that I want, then we're going to just react. And so part of the process that I go through and that I work with and teach people is how to be mentally and emotionally connected with themselves. And the way that you do that, one of the biggest ways to do that, is you've got to get to a place to where you settle your mind. You have to step away from all of the outside distraction so that you can really give yourself some time to go inside and start looking. In the 7-step process that I have created, this is step number 1. I call it stop the noise. Because sincerely, that's what it's about. It's, you've got to stop the noise. You've got to get off social media. You have to turn off the TV. You have to not, take time away from your friends or your lover and just have time with you. The biggest way that I do this is through meditation. And I'll be the first to tell you, prior to 45 days ago, meditation was the hardest thing in the world for me to stick to and make a practice. I have gone through and tried so many different ways of meditation, and I have done that. But it isn't just this last 45 days that I've made a commitment that I've been meditating every day. And oh my goodness, I cannot begin to tell you how amazing it is.
I want to ask you, Charleen, so what took you so long? Seriously, what took you so long?
Resistance, because I have a really busy mind. As a Scorpio, I am a very deep person and I'm a very deep thinker. And so I actually have the ability to be mentally and emotionally processing all the time. And when I went through the work with Byron Katie that you introduced me to, and when I went through a lot of the emotional processing techniques that you have taught, I was able to do that. I was able to do the work to be able to get to this place where I started to investigate my story, investigate my beliefs to see what's true, what's not. It's about letting go of your limiting story, limiting beliefs. And it was in this last bit that I've been taking this course through Kyle Cease's work that I was given the challenge to meditate for an hour every day. And let me tell you, I can't even tell you the resistance that I had. I was like, that's insane. That's nuts. An hour. I don't have time. Don't you know what I do in a day? Don't you know all the things I have to get done? But it wasn't until I stopped to give myself that time. And I actually teach this particular type of meditation in my course as well, where you just sit with yourself, that it's not about trying to necessarily calm your mind. It's not about trying to have a mantra that you repeat to yourself. The way that I talk about the specific type of meditation to where you're getting emotionally and mentally connected is where you learn to sit and become the observer of your thoughts, to look at it without judgment, to look at it without expectation, but just to observe and see what are these thoughts that are coming up, and to be able to just sit with them. What are the feelings that are coming up? To be able to just sit with them. And once you do that, you're then able to begin the investigation of where does it come from? What does it mean? In which case, I would recommend hiring a coach. Sometimes you can go through and do the work by yourself. You can certainly go to Byron Katie's website, thework.com, and take yourself through it. But for me, having a coach to work with, to guide me, to hold me accountable, and to help me when I get stuck because I just keep running the same story over and over and over in my head, having a coach is so important. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how successful you are. Hire a coach.
Yeah. And so that's so true. First, I want to say, I think I know why. Anytime that you're presented a challenge, Charleen, and you take it, boom. That's all Kyle Cease needed to say is he presented a challenge and boom, you're going to take it on, because that's also part of your thing, is that you are really good at overcoming the obstacles that you sign up for. And so, he presented a challenge, and anytime you hear the word challenge, you're like, hey, I'm doing this. So there, that's my thing. I should have presented you that meditation challenge a long time ago. But I missed that word, challenge. So, because I've been trying to get you to meditate for years, and you used to tell me all the time, why are you up at 5:00 in the morning? That's ridiculous. And I'm like, well, that's part of my journey. It's part of my meditation time. It's part of my practice. It's part of what I do to listen to myself, to connect with myself, to tap into my inner intuition. So there's that. But back to the coach piece. So yesterday I was listening to this video. I was watching this video, and she's a well-spoken personality on YouTube. And I love watching her. And so the audience, the people that were chatting with her on on YouTube Live, they were commenting on her hair, how amazing her hair looked. And she said, I just recently got this new do. And the reason why I got this new do is because my coach told me to get a new hairdo. My coach told me to do it. And the people just couldn't believe it. They go, what? You have a coach? Why do you have a coach? What do you need a coach for? Because you're so amazing. You're teaching all this wonderful stuff. Why do you think that you need a coach? And that's the point that you were talking about, exactly how empowering having a coach, because there's a lot of times when we second guess ourselves, and as we're discovering so many things and tapping into that inner journey. I mean, still to this day, I still coach you through all kinds of different things, and so we're always having a coach available to show us different things like a business coach, an empowerment coach, a swim coach, a passion
Mm-hmm.
coach, a sexuality coach. So
Mm-hmm.
it's wonderful to have a coach and to invest in yourself. And
Absolutely.
we were talking about the wholeness, being a wholeness practitioner. I'm getting ready to open. I just opened the new certification process that's going to begin on May 5th, on Saturday, May 5th. It begins as an online process. And go to CorneliaStephanie.com and look under Evolve. And there is a tab that says Become a Wholeness Practitioner. And this is the practitioner course. And I kept it really affordable for people. It's $2,200 for a 3-day certification class group, and then also 6 online classes where I teach people how to think, how to feel, how to remove negative limiting beliefs. And so we start that process online 6 Saturdays in a row, and they're 90 minutes, 60 minutes of content, and then 30 minutes Q&A. And so I'm enrolling people now. So go to CorneliaStephanie.com and save your spot and become a wholeness practitioner, because this work is so powerful that you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be a coach to coach people. That's why I separated it. I'm going to be offering the coaching part after the certification for people that want to learn how to become an empowerment coach. So the certification, the wholeness certification is these are vital tools that you can use to live your life and impact your community, your family, your community in all ways. So your children, your husband, your friends, because if you know how to do it, you're going to be living it, and people are going to be inspired by you just by who you are. And that is a being that is whole already. So we're going to take a
Yes.
quick break and we'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to the Cornelia Stephanie Show, Living Heaven on Earth. And I'm here with my co host, and we are talking about Discover Your Calling today. And so, Charlene, let's tell the listeners about all the amazing, juicy ways they can find you. Let's start with Facebook.
Okay, so on Facebook, you can follow me as Charleen Hess. And again, that's Charlene with 2 E's together, not E-N-E, it's E-E-N. And that's my Facebook public profile page. And also my website at charleenhess.com. And I also have a YouTube channel that you can go on and find. I do video blogs. My video blog is really fun because it's sort of me uncensored, just sharing my experience, sharing my thoughts and ideas. But I also have a lot of free workout videos, mobility workout videos, movement instruction. So you can totally follow me there. And also my free giveaway today is if you want to email me at livingwhole@charleenhess.com. And in the title, put free video. I will send you a free mobility video, a joint mobility video going from head to toe, something that you can do right when you wake up in the morning. You can do it before a workout. You can do it just before you go to bed. You can do it on your lunch break, especially if you have an office desk job. It's really great to be able to go through, take your joints through full range of motion to get that physical connection in your body.
And you also have a free coaching session that you're offering for people today.
Yeah, so you can also, as we were talking about work with a coach, I'm doing free 30-minute consultations. So again, you can email me the same email address, and in the title, put free consultation. And I am taking clients not only for the life coaching, but also for fitness coaching. I do online coaching as well. You can certainly work with me as your personal trainer doing online work. I do it through Skype, and it works wonderfully.
Oh my God, that's so great. Online fitness coaching. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And then what about your hair? You're also taking new hair clients also.
Yes, I am. If you want to fly in and see me or drive in and see me, I do. I'm I am taking new clients, and you can certainly contact me again through my website, charleenhess.com. I've got all my different segments there, and I would love to work with you. Love, love, love to work with you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you, Charlene. And so now, in these last few minutes, you developed a 7-step process. Do you want to talk about that, or what would you like to talk about now?
Yes, definitely. So, what I'm going to be actually covering over the next several shows, I'm going to be here with you, Cornelia. It's the third Friday of every month.
Mhm.
And as we go through, I am going to reveal and share with you the 7-step process that I take people through to discover their calling, to find a life of fun, adventure, play, and joy. And the reason I was able to create this work is because this is the work I have done. The life that I have, if you're here and you're on Facebook Live and you're watching this video, you may see several of these photographs that come up. And these photographs are of me living my life. Like this is the life that I currently live. I have amazing friends, the people that have taken the photographers, Travis Janeway, amazing photographer, and my very dear, sweet friend, Chris Dupenthaler, another amazing photography. And here these people are, that's not what their job is, but it's their gift that they have. They have this awesome talent to be able to capture people in their real life. And I get to benefit from it because they're catching me in the adventurous life that I live. And it's so great to be able to have them sharing their gift, even though it's not their profession. It's an amazing gift that they have that they share by capturing these photographs and putting them on Instagram. And you can find either of them, Travis Janeway on Instagram. You can find Chris Dupenthaler on Instagram and look at their amazing photography of them sharing their gift. And as you look at these photographs and you see this life that I have on top of a mountain at a beach, this is the life that I actually live. And I'm telling you, it wasn't always this way. There was definitely a huge section of my life that I lived in absolute suppression, where I didn't go outside and play. I worked. I was a wife. I was a mother. I was in the PTA. I was a church leader. And I was living a life that really wasn't mine. And I was so disconnected from myself. And it was through the coaching process that I was able to find out who I am on the inside and the kind of life that I really want. There's this great moment that I had shortly after my divorce, and I was with my sweet friend Travis, and we were hiking up in the Mount Baker National Forest up to a beautiful hike called Yellow Aster Butte. And we had hiked up there and we were going to camp overnight. We were going to stay the weekend. And this was one of my first camping trips where I backpacked. I carried my own backpack of everything that I needed. And we're getting up there. And I got up to the top of this mountain and I'm standing there and I'm looking around and I have a 360-degree view of just the mountains. And I just stood there in awe. And I actually said out loud, "This is my life. Like this is my life." And my friend Travis, I'm like, pinch me, like, this is my life. And he's like, yeah, this is your life. And it's because this is the life that I chose to create. And this is what I'm here to help other people do. I'm here to help other people get clear on what it is that you really, really want in your life. Realize whose life is it that you're living. And if it's not your own, then start creating your own. Because we have two stories, right? We have the story that's been given to us. When we were born, our life circumstances, the things that happened to us, was a story that was handed to us. And I'm here to tell you that is not your story. That is not your story. Your story is the one you're creating today, right now in your life. That's your story. So when people ask me my story, I don't tell them about my past, about the chaos that I grew up in my family, or all the limitations that I think that I have because of what was handed to me. I talk about what I'm doing today, right now. And so that's what the 7-step process is that I take people through. I've come up with a way that I've been able to figure it out, write it down, section it out, and say, okay, step 1, this is what you can do. Step 2, this is what you can do. And so I go through and I can teach people what all of those steps are. And in fact, that's what I'm going to be covering in the next several the next several episodes of the Discover Your Calling I'm also going to be offering this as a program online. It's going to be an online coaching program that you can do. This is also the process that I take my clients through. So if you work with me as your life coach, then I will be able to take you through this same process. And we will take as long as we need to work out all of the individual pieces and parts so that you have a coach to work with you, to hold your hand, to hold you accountable. And yeah, so I will also be, as each show, I'll be having different free giveaways. My free giveaway this time, like I said, is the workout video or the mobility video that I will send you if you email me. And I will be putting together a lot of other really great things that as you listen in on the different radio programs, you'll be able to see what the free giveaways are.
You know, this has just been such an amazing show, and you are just on fire, and you are truly shining your light in such an amazing way. And I know that you, with this next level of expansion, will be changing thousands and thousands and thousands of lives. And
That's the
so I
plan.
feel so proud because I had my part in that. I was
Yes.
sharing my gift with that, and I am sharing my gift with that, even bringing you here to this series, and now
Yes.
introducing you as a radio host, as a co-host, getting you ready to speak on large stages. And it's just absolutely fantastic to be in this uh, series with you and shining the light all the way through so other people have the permission to do the same. I thank you so much, Charleen, for being here today. Thank you, listeners, for tuning into the Kornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in next week at 12 noon, and we'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.